Atkinson.
My name is Donald G. Atkinson, and we're going to tell you about our first date.
Okay, so I met Donald. I actually met Donald at Western Michigan University in 1961 when I first came here to go to college.
We used to go up to Western to check out the new girls on campus and the new girls that coming from town.
I think it was probably homecoming. I know it was some kind of party or dance, and he was there with his buddies. And I looked across the room and I saw this guy and I thought, oh, he's really cute. But he didn't, he just kept staring at me. But he never asked me to dance, he never said anything to me. He just stood there and looked at me.
I saw this pretty little girl with these other girls, you know. And I said to my one of my buddies, I said, you know, she looks pretty good. I may say something to her.
And one day, I saw this guy come in church, but all these women were around him. And I looked and I thought, oh, that's that guy that I met that I saw up on campus. So then again, I had a friend's ID. There was a place on Patterson called Ambassador Lounge. And I was in there, and there he was again. But he was also surrounded by women, always surrounded by women.
In 1964, she moved right down the street.
I was working at the bank. I got a job at the bank. And every day I would walk down to Harding's, was on the corner of North Burdick and Patterson.
She used to walk past the house, going to the store, you know.
I'd walk down the street, down Rose Street, around the corner to Harding's and get a Coke and go back to my house.
My house was kind of the meeting place for the fellas, you know, in the afternoon. After we got off work, they used to come down, we'd sit on the front porch. And so this one particular day, she was strolling down the street and she had on these shorts, you know, and they started hollering and whispering and going on.
And they would holler and all that kind of stuff, come on over here, I want to talk to you, who are you, and all this kind of stuff. I would just run to the store because I was not gonna, you know, I was scared. I wouldn't pay any attention to them.
My niece, she knew Lola. And I said, how well do you know her? She says, I know her pretty well. I said, well, see if you can get her a telephone number for me.
Then I got a call from a friend of mine that I had actually kind of grew up with. And she said, my uncle is interested in you. And I said, well, who is your uncle? And she said, well, you know him because you call him Mr. Fine. I said, girl, you kidding? That's your uncle? And she said, yeah, he lives down the street from you. I said, where? And she told me where he lived. I said, that house where all those guys hang out? She said, yeah. And so I said, you gotta be kidding. And so she said, well, he wants to call you. I said, no, no, I said, because I know he's a player. I said, no, I'm not interested. But anyway, she gave my number anyway.
So I gave her a call, and she kind of brushed me off. I said, okay. Well, I said, well, I'll be calling you again. And I waited a couple of days, and I called her again, and I said, well, how would you like to go out?
And I'm like, why is he interested in me? I'm just a college girl. I mean, you know, all these women are hanging around him, and I just didn't take him seriously. So he'd call, and I just kind of like, oh, yeah, right.
Then, you know, then I said, well, you know, she is trying to be hard to get, so I'm going to have to put on my best, you know. And so I did. I called her back, and I came on strong. I said, now, look, you know you want to go out with me. She said, how do you know that? I said, because I know that.
And he asked me where I wanted to go, and I said, well, you choose anywhere you want to go. And he asked me to go to the Pacific Club. Well, I had heard about the Pacific Club. It was a mixed club. Black and white people could go there, but it was a kind of an exclusive club. So I was like, oh, I'm really impressed. So we went to the Pacific Club, ate dinner.
And some of my friends were there, and they said, oh, you got lucky. I said, no, I didn't get lucky. I told you what was going to happen.
And we danced and we talked and we stayed there for a while. And he asked me if I wanted to go by his friend's house and have a drink. And I'm like, oh, sure.
We sat down there and played some games and had a long conversation. Then I took her home.
He didn't try to kiss me or anything. He just was cool. And so he said,
can we do this again? She says, well, you know, I don't know about you.
When I went home, I'm like, I was just so excited. The next day, I'm calling all my girlfriends, talking about, I really did go out with them. They didn't believe me. They just didn't believe me. No, you didn't go out with him. I'm like, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So here we are now, 50 years later, you know, still, she's the one that's still in love with her. So it's been a blessing. It's been a good ride. We are the Atkinsons.
And you have watched Precision 14 Days of Love. Ooh, let's do that again. 14 Days of Love.
And then you guys supposed to kiss.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, let's do it again. So we can kiss again.